crouched down. Hey, welcome back to G-Dubs. Today, that time of the month, essentially, you daily drive one of these old behemoths. They need a decent amount of like regular maintenance. Give her fresh oil, relash the valves. I'm lashing the valves cold, as you're supposed to do on bugs, at least according to the book. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the book, that's what the book is. I took the carburetor off the bus and put it on the bug. So I'll show you and I'll explain why. All right, so if we take a look at the old Sharon, pop that open. As you can see, there's currently no carburetor on it because the carburetor on Ellie, which is currently out, is really bad. It's also broken. I'm not driving this car daily, and Ellie, I'm driving every day. It just made more sense just to go ahead and take this carburetor off. Here's Ellie. I'll open this up. So here's she with this new carburetor. Well, old new carburetor. New to her at least, so pretty nice. And so look at this nice air filter right here. If you're wondering where you can get this air filter, kind of tell it's like a little, almost too big, but there's like a groove right here that this fits in. So it was a pretty nice find. If you want the part number for that air filter, there it is right there. It's 2588303S1. I got that from Tractor Supply Co. So I couldn't find one at O'Reilly's or anything like that. Like I sized up a whole bunch of ones and there's just nothing that was quite working out. There's an AC Delco one that I could have ordered in. Needed something in the moment because the old air filter was really bad. Needless to say, she had seen some better days. Filter. All right, so excuse the mess. I was working on this last night, and seeing as I was gonna work on it this morning, I didn't really feel like picking up any of this. By the way, this is on sale at Home Depot for $100 right now. So I picked up this guy. Came with free disc too. So it's been pretty awesome so far. I've been cleaning up the front end. I have it down to this support. I have the new supports literally right there. So I'm gonna probably weld those in today once I cut these out. This part is rotted off, as well as some of this right here is rotted off. So finished cleaning out the rest of the skin that's on this. I had to start grinding it down because it was really late. I was working on last night, but I can just hammer all this out with a chisel at this point. There's a better view of that. Little update in the current scope of the bus. Now let's get back to what we're here for. Got our handy dandy mat here. That'll be going underneath that, which is gonna go right there. By the looks of it, got the car in just about the most ideal spot I can think of at the moment. I could have parked it in my garage last night, but I didn't feel like doing it. So biting the bullet on that one, but that's okay. We're to the car now. One important thing to do is, of course, make sure our engine's set at top dead center. Seeing that I'm already under the car and I forgot to do that, let me go do that right now. So we're at top dead center now. Bear with me here, but looks like down was the right answer. So we got that bad boy off. So yeah, typically you don't want your gasket broken whenever it comes off. It's not always a great sign. She's cooked. She's chooched. I replaced these last time too when I did this. We want to just get a little bit of an idea of what we're looking at here. This is not purely educational because I don't exactly always know what I'm doing. On the outside, we have our exhaust. You have your intake valve, and then you have your exhaust valve. We're going to start with cylinder 1, which is going to be this furthest one. So we're going to take feeler gauge. And essentially what you're doing is you want to make sure that the clearance between this guy right here and this guy right here are where they should be. Yeah, we're going to come in here. We're going to feel for where we're at right now. So seeing that this is almost a little, this is pretty much right, maybe almost a little too loose. And then we'll try and slide our guy in right here. She's tight. I mean, she's just tight. Should make sense. See how much I've been driving recently. Your locking nut's right here. So you're going to take your locking nut and unloosen it. So you have that unloosened. And unscrew this out just a little bit. This way, what I'm doing with my right hand with this screwdriver right here is I'm unscrewing out this little, I guess this is a screw, but this will be able to set that clearance. So that's all I'm doing right now. I took it out a little bit because it's a little tight, so you want to squeeze that guy back in. So I'm tightening this locking nut right here. The torque spec for it is 14 foot-pounds. Just giving it a nice little squeeze will be just fine for all intents and purposes. So we just took it, it's still a little too tight, it doesn't slide through. You should be able to take the 6th out and be able to slide it with minimal to no resistance. That being said, we're gonna take this guy, we're gonna loosen him again. So we're gonna go up. So I'm gonna righty tighty lefty loosey. Take, I said remember that as I went the wrong way. So take this, we're just gonna take him out just a little bit more. And we're tightening him back up. Take this back. Well, it's almost ideal. All right, so finished adjusting both these guys. They're good. I feel pretty confident about where they're at. I'll show you what it kind of looks like whenever I slide them through. So here's that guy, some resistance, and then the same exact thing with this guy. There's still some resistance. I'm gonna go ahead and knock out this one right here, and then we'll put on a new valve cover gasket, and I'll show you all how to do that, or at least how I do that. There's kind of right and wrong ways when it comes to some of this stuff, but I mean, it is what it is. All right, so I went and spun the engine over. Now is not the time to be like, oh, let me just double check the clearance on this one. Well, you can't, because you already spun the engine over 180 degrees counterclockwise. So these guys already changed their intake and exhaust position. Got our intake right here, got our exhaust right here. So you can see this guy's like, he's all right. Seems to be tightened just like a little bit. And then this guy is, oh, she's chooched. So we'll start with this dude because this one was the worst one. Working this adjusting screw just back and forth just to keep the threads well established. We are going to want to loosen it out just a bit. See how that does for us clearance wise now. She's still way too tight. So take this, loosen this guy, and then screw here. We got that all nice and loosened up. Honestly, I'm gonna tighten this one just a little bit more. All right, to me, that's good. And then we're just gonna tighten this valve just a smidge. Whenever you do these, you wanna make sure these adjusting screws are able to move freely. This guy originally wasn't, and it was only stuck to this nut, but now it's got a little bit better. So, and we don't want to tighten it a little bit, so we're just gonna actually wasn't enough. There we go. All right, I'm happy with that. So just double check, make sure you guys are nice and tight. All right, so now we're gonna clean up the surface and then clean up our valve cover gasket. So I'll show you all that. So here's my opening page just to double check everything I'm saying. So here's our valve cover. Pretty chewed up. What we're gonna wanna do is we're gonna wanna clean up along this edge right here. Clean up all inside of here. What some people like to do is they like to glue, or at least what this book says is to glue one side of your valve cover gasket. I'm going to spray on the gasket to the side that actually will stick in right here. But the first step to doing that is to actually clean all that. So in case you're curious what I'm doing right now is I'm really just cleaning up all this gunk on the outside. Cleaning all that up. And then I have my new valve cover gaskets. Elmer's multi-purpose spray adhesive. I think once I'm done cleaning this up, I'm literally just gonna spray this and only put the sticky side that goes inside the valve cover. All right, so with my discounted brake cleaned up this guy, got all the gunk and stuff out, sprayed my one side that connects and sticks to the valve cover, not the actual cylinder, sprayed that with this Elmer's glue adhesive right here. I had this laying around and yeah, I just sprayed it. Who cares? Last time I changed my valve cover gaskets, I didn't even put any glue on it because I didn't know any better. So look at that, progress made. So yeah, now that's all cleaned out. We'll stick this guy back on there and move on to the other side. What I'm gonna go ahead and do is take this guy and just stick him on right back on there. There we go. So just like that, we got this one side done. For the sake of time, I'm not going to show the other side, but you kind of get the deal. We're going to do that, and then we'll be on to the oil change. All right, so I just had two very nice gentlemen come and talk to me about my bug. He tried to buy it, but I mean, obviously it's not for sale. So yeah, so now we're going to move on to the next part, which is going to be changing the oil on her. So first things first, may want to just go ahead and just, got the cap back on. Obviously got to get the engine warm in order to change out the oil. So we're gonna go ahead and got my keys right over here. I'll wash off my hands first. Then we're gonna start her up. All right, so just warmed up. If you're curious what kind of oil I use good old Castrol GTX High Mileage 10W30. All right, so she's nice and warmed up now. Sounds like she's running great. Gonna come over here, we're gonna shut her off, and I'm gonna get that oil ripped out, get her all changed up. All right, so we got the engine shut off. Just gonna scoot out of the way a little bit. Over to here. All right, I got the Craftsman 21 mil, found the right size. There, loosened up. There we go. Ta-da. So here's the part number. So she's just about done draining out. All right, so here's our first gasket that I'm fished out of here. Wow. And yes, this is that same Faux Pro gasket. All right, so there's that first one off. And because it's like a little gasket sandwich, it goes gasket, strainer, gasket. Out comes our strainer. There we go. And then, of course, we have one last gasket. Get this gasket off. So there's both gaskets. All right, so first things first, this doesn't surprise me, but there is a bit of metal on the top. The original person who I bought this from had an aftermarket oil screen on it, and so it doesn't surprise me that didn't fare too well. Something that's a little worrying is how scratched up this guy right here. Couldn't tell you why, just did. So obviously don't want to see that. I'm gonna try and get some more of this oil off. Got both these guys cleaned up pretty good. Looks just about brand new on both ends. Usually you should wash this with some mineral spirits. Don't have any, not the end of the world. I just took some of my discounted brake cleaner. You can see over there in the corner, the good stuff. That's the Lucas oil. Only using the good stuff. It's gonna take this guy, put her back in. And same thing with that guy right there. Slide back under here and just, oh great, I just stuck my whole hand in the oil. And then we're just gonna clean up all this right here where this gasket's about to go on to. All right, so here's our first gasket. Some people like to cover these in like black silicone and let them dry and all these steps, whatever. First gasket goes on, strainer, throw him on here. Here we go. Got that in there now. That's on there pretty good. I'm just taking and putting the new copper washers on these guys. Got this guy now. I'm gonna stick him on. Hope that he stays, and I'm gonna try to grab. I'm trying to grab the actual retaining piece. There we go, I got it. I couldn't reach it, so there we go. Got him now. Ooh, some grass right there. Knock that off. And I'll go just like that. These guys already put the new copper gaskets that come with the little kit. Just gotta find the hole. Find the hole. Where could it be? Take this guy and just throw him in there. Oh boy, if only I had an electric ratchet to make this go by a little quicker. Oh wait, I do. Except I don't have it on my person right now. Oh no, I don't want to get the leaf inside my oil. Got a leaf on my finger. Get off. Get off. There we go. Alright, then we're just gonna reach over here. Alright, so I'm not actually gonna tighten it all the way. I'm just doing this to speed it up just a little bit. Got that gasket right here, brand new. Just wiggle / persuade this one on. Persuade this one on. Look at that. Take this, come back over here. Oh, yeah, that's how you're supposed to do that. Let's go put some oil on. All right, so now's the fun part. Get to actually put oil in it. The bottom end's all done up well. Put in like 2.2-ish cords. Let's put her in. Oh, she's thirsty. Oh, I friggin' missed. Dang it. I honestly don't know where we're at. She can take a little bit more. Yeah, she's good. All right, so I gave Ellie a chance to warm up. She's running great, idling at a smooth 900, maybe like 875-ish. Let's turn her off real quick. Oh, so yeah, the ice cream man in November. Our old dipstick. We put it in, take it from coast to coast. Pull it out. Man, and if only the camera would show you, but that is basically on the money. Halfway between that fill mark and the full mark. Gotta love it. Wipe it off. Boom. Wave to the ice cream man. And just like that. Oil change and valve adjustment. Another one in the books for little Ellie. Always make sure to wear your overalls when you do your work. Pretty much wrap this up. I appreciate you watching. Hope you were able to learn at least a little bit. I may have been wrong about some stuff, but majority of what I said, I was just reading out of the book. If you're gonna get mad at anyone, get mad at Mr. Muir. I think that's how you say it. Have your own opinions. I'd love to hear them. Also, at the same time, it's not gonna really change too much. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later.